The concept that rail freight is better is quickly gaining acceptance because of the obvious benefits to society that using rail freight brings. Transporting freight by rail is better for the environment, better for human health, better for safety, and economically competitive. Trains use 6 times less energy than trucks. Every tonne of freight carried by rail rather than by road produces 80% less carbon dioxide. DB Schenker, a multinational logistics company and the largest rail freight operator in Britain, prefers rail because their trains emit 5 times less carbon dioxide per tonne per kilometre than road. This also assists them meet their emissions reduction targets. In June 2012, the World Health Organisation declared diesel particulate fumes a Class 1 carcinogen. That puts them in the same class as asbestos. The black soot you often see coming from truck exhausts accounts for only 80% of pollution. The rest, 92%, is invisible, containing microscopic particles that can be inhaled deep into lung tissue and diffuse directly into the bloodstream. The WHO established a direct causal link between diesel particulates and lung cancer and a strong link between diesel exhaust fumes and bladder cancer. Noise also damages health. This is a graph from a noise study conducted at 310 High Street in Fremantle. The y-axis, which is this one here along the side, just below that blue line there is 80 decibels and below the pink line is 50. And the x-axis, which runs along the bottom here, is time over a couple of days. Noise not only damages hearing, but prolonged noise over 80 decibels, below that blue line, causes heart disease and decreases life expectancy. There's also new evidence that suggests that noise probably damages health at levels above 50 decibels. So the more trucks on our road, the more they threaten our community's well-being. Increased travel by heavy vehicles is a key concern for accident researchers because it significantly increases crash risk for all road users. In crashes involving cars and trucks, car occupants are much more likely to be seriously or fatally injured in both the city and the country. It goes without saying that bigger trucks are much more difficult to manoeuvre and stop, so pose a bigger risk to our safety. Fremantle Port Authority plans to double its container throughput by 2017 and double it again by 2030 to an estimated 2.4 million containers. To achieve this, bigger and more trucks will run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week along residential roads. For safety reasons alone, the people of Fremantle think it will be better to prioritise trains for transporting freight. Yet, priority has been given to trucks and the financial burden of getting them to and from Fremantle Port is substantial. The Row 8 extension has been estimated to cost somewhere around $750 million, probably much more, and will destroy the Beelia wetlands. Upgrading the High Street Stirling Highway intersection will cost between $60 and $100 million and stretches for less than a kilometre. It's feasible that 10 flyovers will be required. These are here indicated by those red arrows, to give the trucks freeway to the port. If they cost, say, $10 million each, the total is getting close to somewhere around $1 billion. This is without considering extra lanes on the Stirling Bridge or demolition and roadworks in North Fremantle. Metropolitan roads are already at capacity with trucks. The existing freight rail line to Kewdale is underutilised. No more excuses. Authorities should be planning to put the maximum amount of containers onto rail. Fremantle Road to Rail campaign must see a public commitment to a minimum of 30% of freight on rail, which includes a feasible planning, a funding plan and rollout date. This was recommended in the 2002 Freight Network Review and is even more applicable today. With 30% of freight on rail, the number of trucks on the road would diminish to 2002 levels and minimal roadworks would be necessary. In Switzerland, nearly half of freight goes by rail. And even in the US, close to 50% of intercity freight is moved on trains. I don't advocate trains this long because I'd have to wait too long at South Beach to cross the rail line. But it shows that with political will, things are possible. We need freight on rail for a safer, healthier, happier, more sustainable community. Thanks.
Thank you, Gaye.